Okay, let's talk about something we all deal with, but almost everyone gets wrong: procrastination. And I'm telling you, the real reason behind it, it's probably not what you think.
All right, first things first. And I need you to really hear this. You're not lazy. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. Because the story you've been telling yourself about being lazy, well, it's just wrong.
You know that feeling, right? Staring at a blank page for an essay that's due, pushing back that study session for the third time, or heck, even that simple text message you've been meaning to reply to for like a week. Yeah, that's not you being a bad person. It's not a character flaw at all.
What that is your brain running an ancient program, one that's been hardwired for survival for millennia. Think of it like a feature, not a bug. And once you see what that program actually is, well, that's when things really start to click.
So, let's just get this out of the way. The biggest myth about procrastination is that it's a time management problem. You know, if I just had a better planner or a new app, I'd be fine. Nope. Turns out it has almost nothing to do with your calendar.
I mean, we've all heard it, right? Just be more disciplined, manage your time better. But that's completely missing the point. The research is pretty clear on this now. Procrastination isn't a problem of managing your time, it's a problem of managing your emotions.
So what does that actually mean? Well, think of procrastination as your brain's go-to strategy for dealing with, well, bad feelings. When you look at a task, your brain does this super fast scan. If it picks up on any negative vibe, any stress, any boredom, it basically flinches. It sees that task as a threat, and its prime directive is to get you away from threats ASAP.
Okay, but pain? Threat? That sounds a little dramatic, right? I mean, it's an essay, not a saber-toothed tiger. But to a certain part of your brain, it kinda is.
The threat isn't physical, it's emotional. It's that anxiety that you're gonna mess it up. It's the pure mind-numbing boredom of a tedious task. It's that nagging self-doubt whispering, what if you can't do this? Or just the frustration of not even knowing where to begin. Your brain doesn't care about the long-term goal. It just knows one thing: this feels bad right now. And its immediate reaction is, find an exit. Okay, so your brain wants to escape. But how does that escape become such a powerful, unbreakable habit? Well, it all comes down to some fascinating brain chemistry. This is the how behind the instant reward trap. The key player here is a little chemical called dopamine. And you've probably heard of it, but there's a common misunderstanding. Dopamine isn't just the pleasure chemical. It's more like the do it again chemical. It's your brain's way of stamping a big gold star on an activity and saying, hey, that was good. Let's remember to do that again. It's basically the engine of motivation. So when you're faced with a choice, your brain does this lightning-fast subconscious math. On one side, you have the hard task, let's say writing that essay. The dopamine reward? It's way off in the future, and you have to work for it. On the other side, you have your phone. The dopamine reward? It's right there, instant, guaranteed, no effort. Which path do you think a brain built for efficiency is going to choose?
Yeah, it's not even a contest. Faced with that choice, the brain picks now. Every single time. It's just how we're wired.
And this is how the habit loop gets baked into our brains. Step 1, you face the hard task. Step 2, you feel that discomfort, the anxiety, the boredom. Step 3, you pivot to something easy and rewarding, like scrolling on your phone. And boom, instant relief. The problem is, every time you do that, you're teaching your brain a very simple lesson. When you feel bad, this is how you feel better. That connection gets stronger and stronger until it's completely automatic.
But here's where it gets really insidious. Because our natural reaction to procrastinating, it's the very thing that makes the trap even worse.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've just wasted an hour on YouTube instead of working, and that voice in your head starts up. I'm so lazy. What is wrong with me? I have no self-control. And here is the absolute cruelest twist in this whole thing. That feeling of guilt, that shame, that's a negative emotion. It's a form of discomfort. And what have we learned about what the brain does when it feels discomfort? It looks for an escape. So the guilt you feel from procrastinating just creates more of the very feeling you were trying to avoid, which makes you want to procrastinate even more to escape the guilt. It's a vicious cycle.
So, calling yourself lazy isn't some deep insight into your character. It's just you punishing yourself. All it does is pile on more guilt and shame, which makes the original task seem even more scary and overwhelming. And that, of course, just makes your brain want to run away even faster. It's a perfect trap.
Okay, so if that's the trap, how in the world do we get out? The answer isn't a new productivity app or a stricter schedule. It starts with something much simpler and much more powerful: changing how you think about the problem.
The very first step is to internalize this. Procrastination is not a character flaw, it's a design flaw. Your brain's operating system was designed for a world that existed thousands of years ago, a world without the internet or smartphones. It's not that you're weak, it's that your ancient wiring is mismatched for the modern world. This isn't your fault.
And once you get that, you can finally stop asking the old, useless question, why am I so lazy? That question just leads to shame. Instead, you can switch to a new, much more useful question. Why does this particular task feel threatening right now? Get curious. Is it because it's boring? Is it because you're afraid you'll fail? Is it because you just don't know where to start?
See the difference? Why am I lazy is a dead end. But why does this feel threatening? That's a question with an answer. That's a problem you can actually solve. If it's boring, maybe you can make it a game. If you're afraid of failing, what's the absolute smallest, easiest first step you can take? Just one sentence, just opening the file. All of a sudden, you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're just solving a puzzle.
Look, your brain's ancient programming is powerful, for sure, but it's not a dictator. It's beatable. You just have to realize you've been playing the wrong game this whole time. Stop fighting yourself. Start understanding the real reasons you procrastinate, and you can start to win.